Can you see my shirt? Can you see it? You know what that's from? It's from Peter Parker's high school. If you've seen Spider-Man Homecoming, you know what I'm talking about. Hey guys, it's Keeley, and today I'm going to be doing my what I watched this month for the month of July. Okay, I watched a lot of things in the month of July. I watched so many movies, and I even have some TV shows to talk about. Like, I watched a lot, so we're gonna go ahead and get on into it. The first thing I watched this month was Moana, and I love this one so much. Guys, I love animated movies and Disney movies, and just, it was so good. It was so good. I've been listening to the soundtrack for months, so I was already in love with this movie, and then I finally watched it. It follows this girl named Moana who lives in Hawaii on an island, and her island is in trouble. It starts dying, and so she is called out to the sea and has to go find the demigod Maui to come and save their island, and it was so good. Guys, I sobbed so hard at so many points in this movie. The other day, I was just driving my car, minding my own business, and I start crying because of Moana's grandmother. If you have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But it was so good. I love Moana. I love Auli'i Karivalo, who plays Moana, and the soundtrack, guys. The soundtrack. It was so good. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. I love it so much. Also, the visual, like, it's just aesthetically pleasing. That's all I can say. Aesthetic. The next movie I watched was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I'm holding up my box set here for visual representation, but I watched this first one because my little brother and sister hadn't sat through and watched all of the movies before, so of course we had to have a marathon, so of course we started with the first one. I mean, what else would you start with? And of course, so good. Like, what do I have to say about it? You know, I love Harry Potter. Amazing. I loved it. Ugh, so good. I am unpopular opinion, I like the second Dumbledore better. I like Michael Gambon better than Richard Harris, just because I think Richard Harris is a bit too old to play the energetic Dumbledore and like go hunt for Horcruxes. But I love this one so much, and it's so much fun seeing them all little, and especially since I've met Daniel Radcliffe, seeing little bitty Daniel. So cute. Loved it so much, obviously. The next movie I watched this month was Twilight, because I was rereading the books, and so after I finished one, I would watch the movie and do that, and it was so much fun to do that. Like, I need to do that with more series. It was really cool, because then you like remember the book and you can spot the difference easier. And honestly, the Twilight movies are so close to the books, it's insane. Like, even the dialogue is almost word for word, and I am just trash for this. Like, it makes me so happy. And I discovered watching this, I like this movie better than the book. Odd, I know, but I like the Twilight movie better than the book. That's not the same for the rest of the series, but for the first one, it's true, and it just makes me so happy, and it brings back so many memories, and it's just, I love it. Like I said in my reading wrap-up, I am trash. The next movie I watched this month was Spider-Man Homecoming. If you can't tell, I'm a huge fan. I am a huge fan. First of all, I love Marvel. I don't talk about it enough on my channel because I just started doing these movie wrap-ups, but I am a huge fan of Marvel. I love it so much, and Spider-Man has never been one of my favorite superheroes. I don't know, I've just never really, like, he's never really been on my radar. Of course, I watched the other ones, and I can honestly say Tom Holland is my favorite Spider-Man of all time, and he like made Spider-Man like my favorite superhero. Before, he wasn't even on my radar, and now he's like my favorite. Like, Tom Holland, I love him so much. It's crazy. I just love him so much. He is so good, so talented. My heart. Okay, and Zendaya's in this movie, and I am obsessed with Zendaya as well. She's awesome. I just think that Tom Holland did such a good job as Spider-Man. He was like age appropriate and acted like a high school Spider-Man should, and I love Robert Downey Jr., and the fact that he was in this movie with Tom Holland was so good, and I cannot wait for the next adventures, even though I'm already in pain. The next movie I watched was New Moon because, like I said, I was reading the books and then watching the movie, and I discovered when I was reading this book that I actually really like it. The first time I read it, New Moon was my least favorite. I didn't like it, and I really liked it, which is weird because I'm Team Edward. But once again, loved this one. I love all the werewolves, even though like I'm a vampire girl over a werewolf girl, but I just love everyone so much. And once again, it made me so happy. And then after watching New Moon, on separate days of course, I watched the rest of the Harry Potter series. We watched all the rest of them, and honestly, like, what do you expect me to say, because they are so good. These are some of my favorite book to movie adaptations ever. I love the cast so much, and just seeing this world brought to life makes me so happy, and I feel like everyone needs a good Harry Potter marathon every few like weeks. Just kidding, like months, but I loved it, and I am ready to rewatch them again. Actually, it's currently Harry Potter weekend on Freeform right now, so we've been watching the Harry Potters again. But I just love this series. I always will. Obviously, I have a tattoo. Obviously. Now, after we watched the Harry Potter series, we weren't done yet, because we still had to watch Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, because even though it's not Harry Potter, it's in the same world, so you gotta watch it. I am a huge fan of this. I am a Hufflepuff. Newt is a Hufflepuff, so it is so good to see a Hufflepuff in the spotlight. I love Eddie Redmayne. He did so good playing Newt. Like, I can't see anyone else playing Newt. I just makes me so happy. I can't wait for the second one, and I'm so happy they started filming, and I love it so much. The next movie I watched was Eclipse in the Twilight series. I love this one. I like this one better than the book as well, because the book kind of annoys me now that I've read it. Like, I still love it, but Bella annoys me in that book. But I like this one. I love the battle scene. So great. So much fun. I know a bunch of you are probably like shaking your head at me or just skipping over this part completely, but I will always be trash for Twilight. I will always love it because of what it has done for me. The next movie I watched was To the Bone, which is on Netflix, and it is about this girl who is battling anorexia, and she goes into this like treatment home and meets a bunch of other people who are battling with the same disease. And I really liked this one. I personally can't speak on behalf of like the accurate representation, because I personally have never gone through this, but just from what I know about it, I feel like it was a good representation, and from what I've seen about it, I feel like it is, because even though there is a love interest, they clearly say that this love interest is not going to fix her illness or like her mental health. Like, they clearly say that that's not gonna happen, and so I like how this movie handled that, and how they just show that yes, you can love someone while you're struggling with yourself, and how yes, you can still be struggling but be in love, and they're not gonna fix you. I just thought it was handled really well, and I love Lily Collins and the rest of the cast. Okay, yeah, didn't meet them, but I was introduced to some other people that I had never known before, and now I'm gonna be on the lookout for them. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. And the next two movies I watched were Breaking Dawn Part 1 and Breaking Dawn Part 2. Finished up the series. I love this one so much. Breaking Dawn Part 2, so good, because like that's when she like wakes up, you know what I'm saying? And also the imprinting happens in this one, and if you watch my reading wrap up, you know that's my favorite scene. So I love these so much. They're so good. And the last movie I watched this month was Descendants 2. Yes, I am 21 and I am a Descendants stan like so hard. I love Descendants. I watched the first one on the premiere night and the second one on the premiere night. I just love these movies so much. I will always watch Disney Channel movies. I will always watch Disney Channel shows. Not ashamed of it. But yeah, this one is the sequel, and in the first one we follow these kids from the like evil parents, you know, the like Maleficent, Jafar, like all of those people, and they go to the island where the good people live, and like the heroes and all that stuff, and it's just the sequel. So good. I love the soundtrack so much. I have been listening to the first and the second soundtrack non-stop. So good. I am obsessed with this cast. Like Dove Cameron, one of my favorite people ever. I just I love her so much. And Sophia Carson, she is so sweet and talented, and her voice is amazing. And then Cameron Boyce, who plays Carlos, he's just the cutest little cinnamon roll, and I've been watching him grow up. And Boo Boo Stewart, who plays Jay. Y'all, I have been in love with Boo Boo since 2010 when he was in the Twilight movies, and now he's in Descendants, and his hair is beautiful. But I love these movies so much, and I definitely recommend them. So that is it for the movies, so we're gonna move on to the TV shows. I have 2 TV shows to talk about. Like I said, I watched a lot of things this month. The first TV show I have to talk about is The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I was continuing this one from watching it a few months ago, and I finally finished season 2 and 3. I love the show so much. It follows this woman named Kimmy who was kidnapped years ago and was kept in a bunker and told that the apocalypse happened and that they were the last ones left. It was basically a cult. And then 15 years later, she is found along with all the other girls, and she has to figure out how to live this life now that she's 15 years older and is an adult, and it's hilarious. Okay, that sounds like so, like, I don't know, sad and just kind of like a thriller horror, but no, this is a comedy show, and I had no idea that that was the synopsis when I first started watching the show months ago. But yeah, finally finished season 2 and 3. So much fun. It is so funny and a really quick show to watch. So my camera died, but yeah, like I was saying, super fun, quick show. If you need something to watch, definitely go watch this one. The next show I have to tell you about that I finally finished. Now, this is one of my favorite shows of all time, and I usually watch it as it comes out, but while the season was airing, I was in London, so I had to watch it like a few days afterwards, and I missed an episode, and so it had been a few weeks, but I finally finished Supernatural season 12. Oh my goodness, guys, this has been one of my favorite episodes. There was a few there that was kind of like, okay, like, where is this going? I'm ready for a change. But season 12 reminded me so much of the first few seasons, and the first few seasons were like the original, like, I'm just going hunting type of thing, and these reminded me so much of that. Now, I will say one of the characters that comes back, not gonna spoil, even though you have probably seen this because it's a big deal, didn't really like her. Not really a fan, but in the end, she redeemed herself. But guys, this finale, oh, I'm not gonna tell you who, but let's just say some of my favorite characters are no longer with us. And I am very, very sad. But I watched the San Diego Comic-Con panel, so I know that some things will be okay, but others won't. But I love the Supernatural series. I've been watching it for years, and I just, so good. Like, if you're in the middle of it, stick through it. I promise you, season 12 is just so good, and they're filming season 13 right now. Like, this show is never gonna end. I hope. But anyway, yeah, I finished season 12, loved it so much, and I am excited for season 13. But that is it for what I watched in the month of July. I hope you watched some good things as well. Let me know your favorite movie. Also, did any of you see Spider-Man Homecoming? Because I could always talk about him. Tom Holland. But thank you so much for watching. As always, my social media links will be down below, and I will see you next time. Bye!